I walked in the place, sat by the bar, all the drinks on me, don't go too far, sitting by the bartender, asked her
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Icon. We here on 910 Sports Podcast once again. First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity to be able to come on here, to chop it up with my brothers, to have these great interviews, these great conversations. So I'm going to start off introducing my man, you know what I'm saying, your baby mama's favorite radio host, the man who know everything about sports and everything else, man. My dog, King Jacob, in the building. What's going on, fam?
What's up, man? What's up, man? I'm glad to be in the land of the living, man. And man, we definitely made it through another month now. Now we're in September, bro. The fall coming, and high school football back in, college football, NFL, recreation, man. Just all football. This is our time of the year, the fellowship, to congregate and to talk some trizash. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, just want to welcome, Eric and Coach Page on, man. Thank y'all for joining in. We're gonna talk about NFL predictions. Did your team add value with their new depth chart and their new roster? And why do you feel that them adding certain players was necessary, or adding certain players will it cause a conflict of interest? And did the offensive coordinator get better? Did the defensive coordinator get better? And what do you expect from special teams this season? So we just gonna talk about football, man, and we're gonna talk about Coach Prime and his son, and how he put this team together in Wild People. To beat a team that was just in the national championship. Even though they lost, but they was there, and they did it. Within 1 year. They had a new system in, and they went all the way when people counted TCU out. But, people counted Prime out, and, I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about all that in a nutshell. So, I'll go ahead and let you top it off, man, and go ahead.
Okay, so basically, like you said, the first thing we want to talk about yesterday's games. Of course, Deion Sanders, Colorado going against TCU. A couple of other, teams of what we've seen for us, what y'all seen as a whole yesterday, from the sport. And last night, North Carolina, South Carolina. Of course, we know Drake May is basically looked as probably the number 2 prospect for the NFL draft behind Caleb Williams. So far, what y'all seen from him. But we'll start off with the Deion. I know everybody wants to start off with the Deion Sanders. And my boy called me earlier, wildest. I was out and about with the fam, so I couldn't really talk with him. And I'm going to get back with him later. But I want to first and foremost start with that. I start with Eric first and then Randy. But Eric, you tell me what you thought, what's your opinion on what you seen with Colorado yesterday?
That was just amazing. Like, I don't think anyone expected that. That was one of the best showings of uh, for a first year coach in his first game, that anyone's ever seen. It was just a stunning game to watch. I I mean, I saw most of it via like highlights and everything, but I did turn it on for a few minutes because I had to run out and do things. But yeah, man, they just look good. And like you said, like Jacob had said, you're talking about they played a team that was just in the national championship last year. I mean, so it's that's that does say something. And yeah, I mean if and I think what isn't Dion's son the quarterback?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he threw for over 500 yards. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's astonishing. Now, I mean, I know they do that in college sports. Like some teams are very pass heavy, and you do see like big inflated stat numbers from these quarterbacks, but that was just nuts. Absolutely nuts. And I was like, okay, so Colorado's on my list to watch every week now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, so what, Randy? What's your opinion of what you seen, or did you, if you did watch the game yesterday?
I did. I will say this: it's surprising, but then again, it didn't surprise me because at the end of the day, Coach Prime, he's done at the highest level, man. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's the best cornerback that ever ever set foot on the field. But with me saying that, I'm going to say this: he still football still comes down to blocking and tackling. And if I'm not mistaken, they turn over their roster what 75 to 80%. So most of those kids they came in were former 4 and 5 star recruits that played at the highest level. So the talent acquisition kind of leveled the playing field. And like I said, at the end of the day too, but this is the part that a lot of people are failing to understand. Colorado pretty much had what 7 8 months to get prepared for this game. So a lot of stuff that was going on really wasn't too much of a surprise to me because when you got that much time to just zone in on one opponent, a lot of times it should look that way. But I think a lot of people probably underestimated Coach Prime because a lot of people think that everything he does is a gimmick. At the end of the day, it still comes down to blocking and tackling. And he's going to have a first rate coaching staff too. So he had a whole 7 8 months to get prepared for this game. So I'm not surprised at all.
Okay, yeah. So, what's up, Miss Wildfire in the building? Can you hear me? I don't know if you got us on mute. Well, I don't know if she can hear me just yet. But anyway, so while she getting herself set up, I don't think she can hear me, or I can't hear her. So my opinion before I take it go take it to Jacob, um, what I seen was probably the most like I'm with Eric. This is probably the most amazing thing I've seen in college football. For you to turn over your team, and they said I think it was 81 new players on his roster. I don't know how many of those players are actually on the roster right now, are eligible to play. I think it's up to 68 of them are actually eligible to play. I think they were saying during the game. But for him to be able to turn over his roster in basically a summer, not even a season, a summer, and to be able to get the value he did. Of course, he got the number one, one of the top quarterbacks in the league, the number one and number two prospect as far as corner and all of that. But still, to be able to come in, play a team that was in the national championship game last year. Because I'm gonna tell y'all like this: most teams, it's a lot of teams in college football that would have been the same position as TCU, and they or have been the same position as Colorado, and they wouldn't have been able to beat like T. Not as far as like roster, but I'm saying if they had like half their roster and went and played TCU, they wouldn't have been able to beat TCU. There's teams right now in college football that come back with probably half their roster and would have lost that game yesterday. And the thing about it was the poise that they shown me was even better because they could have when TCU took the lead. The first thing I think of myself is TCU gonna run away with this game now, or is Colorado gonna stay the course and stick in this game? And that's what they did, and that's just a tribute, not just to the Prime himself, but that whole coaching staff. You know what I mean? Because you're talking about defense, offense. Defense didn't have his best game, but they made the plays when it counted, and that's all that matters at the end of the game is when you make them. When not if you make can't plays throughout the game. Yeah, you're gonna get hit with haymakers, but they made the plays when it counted the most. And the thing about what we're not talking about is that okay, we talk about Shador Sanders, we talk about Trey, but what about that Edwards kid, that running back? Like Dion said, this guy's gonna make plays throughout this game. He didn't say if, he said when. And Edwards, the running back, made like 2 or 3 major plays in that game that nobody's really talking about like they should be. So, yeah, Wildfire, can you hear me now?
I hear you. How
Okay,
y'all
what's
doing?
going on, young lady? How you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good. Since you want to guess, I'm gonna let you jump in first, and we're gonna jump over to Jacob. But maybe you and our special guest, I want you to chime in on this first. Then we're gonna let Jacob finish it off on this topic.
What's that about Dion?
Yeah, about Colorado and that whole thing yesterday.
I mean, it was a good win. I mean, I think, people picked against them, and rightfully so. TCU was in the championship last year. I know they missing the quarterback left, but not the same team. But I mean, it was a great win. I think y'all go overboard, but it was a great win. Good for Prime. He got to talk a little smack, get everybody off his back, like he want to do. So I mean, it was a good win. I still have them at 3 or 4 wins. It was a great showing. Shadura was great. He was throwing 500 some yards. No defense was played, clearly, because it was 45-42. So nobody ain't playing no defense. Travis Hunter was great. We can walk away and say Travis Hunter was great. I still only see like 3 or 4 wins. I think he's going to build. I mean, I want him to do great, but y'all going to go overboard about this one win, though.
No, here we go. She back, Jacob. Back.
You got him, Icon. You got him going 8-4. Did you not post that?
I said that before this game. I said this way before this game.
I can't see that. Maybe I got to look at the schedule because I know the schedule ain't real strong. But
exactly
8-4, no. 8-4 is a no.
They play, I think, Utah. So I got them losing to USC. I think I'm losing not Utah. They play Utah. No, they play Utah. So they play Utah, USC. That's
Oregon.
2 teams.
They play Oregon.
I think I had them losing maybe UCLA or somebody. I'm not sure, but I think I forgot. I can't remember the other 2 or 3 teams, but everybody else. I think they can beat Nebraska last week. I seen Nebraska Thursday night. They look like
Nebraska don't like it. That's true.
So I think that's 2 wins right there. So if they get 2 wins, they start off 2-0. You gonna tell me the Dion only gonna win?
But see, I'm not saying nothing negative about Dion. It's just that I mean I know y'all just gonna go overboard though. Y'all gonna do way too much. Like let's be in the moment. It was great. He got the people off his back because they did talk a lot of trash. That he had the worst roster and all this stuff. And he, I get it. But y'all gonna go way overboard.
Roster though, it's also about the fact that people like what's his name, Lee Corso. I ain't never heard Lee Corso talk negative about nobody like this. He was talking on his show like
he did talk reckless. He did.
And it's like so you don't like the fact because a lot of people don't like the fact that he pretty much turned over his whole roster. But Dion said I didn't get rid of these players. He said all these players, most of them quit. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a little misleading, don't you think? Didn't he come in that locker room and say, like, y'all ain't gonna be here, et cetera, et cetera? Like, they didn't just quit. Let's not be ridiculous. They didn't just quit. He came back with Louis bags and stuff.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Well, I mean, Crystal, you said that we're gonna be a little extra. Yeah, I'm Jacob the Great, so I'm always extra. So read all about it, but to come from the HBCU and go to a Power I and do what he did, I think it's magnificent. But of course, I think the defense can tighten up because even on the ends, when TCU running back was bouncing it to the outside, the containment on the end should have brought him in the middle, and the linebackers could have stopped their boy from getting them balls because it would have been crunch time through the middle, and the secondary can get real better with field vision and seeing the gaps where the person is catching the ball and where the lead blockers are going. The secondary missed a lot of key plays, and then the special teams missed a lot of key plays. So I think the defense is going to get tightened up because Dion is a defensive guy. So I think you're going to tighten up. But I think that he's going to wow a lot of people. He's going to surprise a lot of people. And it's going to be interesting, because I really don't believe in the conference that he's in. I don't really think it's that great. Caleb Williams looks like when he plays in his conference, he looks like, he's Superman playing against like some fire ants. You know what I mean? And so, it's ridiculous how great he looks. And I just think Dion would definitely win way more than 4 ball games. I'm not gonna say that he's gonna win 8 or 9, but he's gonna at least win 7 games. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. But shout out to Coach Prime, shout out to his team, and shout out to the quarterback of Colorado for setting a school record. You know what I mean? And it's down in the history books now. And so I just say salute. So that's all I have to say, man. We just gonna see how prime time he's gonna be, and clutch he's gonna be throughout the rest of the season. And that's all I have.
Well, let me ask y'all something before we move on to the next topic. When it comes to Travis Hunter, do y'all believe Travis Hunter is overrated, or do y'all think he's rated probably where he needs to be at this point? Because they even talking about now he might get into the Heisman race a little bit.
Me
And
personally, I think I,
go ahead, Randy.
I think with Travis' situation, he's that's their job. That's their job as a media to sit there and hype players up. Me personally, I think he's right where he need to be at right now. He's still only a sophomore, so he has a whole nother year to kind of sharpen and hone his skills. But this time next year, yeah, I could definitely see that.
Okay. What about you, Eric?
Yeah, I totally agree with what he just said. I mean, I think he's right where he should be. Um, and basically, sky's the limit for him. He's just going to get better and better with more playing time and gaining more experience. But yeah, no, I think he's where he's at, well, where he needs to be. Let's put it that way, with room.
Okay. What about you, Wildfire?
Yeah. He's where he's supposed to be, and he's good. I mean, I don't think he can keep playing both sides of the ball like that, though.
No.
Exactly.
No. That was too much. Like they're gonna have to cut him down. They're gonna have to figure something out. They're gonna have to just put him out maybe on like third down or most important plays on the offensive side of the ball. But he can't be that go-to guy. They're gonna have to figure out another go-to guy when it comes to or at least somebody that can set the table as far as receiving. They can't have him being the guy who makes all the plays on the offensive side of the ball. Or especially as far as wide receiver the most. Like they had the running back that was making plays, a couple of running backs by committee, but wide receiver was like every big throw every big catch he had to make, and they gonna make him to survive like that and have him playing the best receiver on the other side of the ball.
Well, I thought they had 200-yard receivers. Didn't they have another 100-yard receiver?
Yeah, they did, but if you
They did.
watched it, he was the one making like all the crucial catches, like the ones that finished off drives or you know what I'm saying, touchdown. Like most of the other plays, big running touchdowns came from the running backs, a lot of them. But he was making like even that one that was a swing pass, I think, for that one running back Edwards. When he took it like 80 yards, I think a couple of his was like swing passes, I believe. But you know what I'm saying. But all the seem like the big time, the keep alive, drive alive type plays was him. You know what I mean? From what I was seeing for the most part. But yeah, what you think, Jacob?
Well, there was three receivers with over 100 yards. 111, 114, 107. And a receiver that the media didn't talking about, not talking about, that made some crucial plays is Horn Jr.
Yep.
I forget his first name. He made some
Jim,
really,
Jim.
really, really tough catches. And I think that with the recruit that they got from Kentucky University, All American recruit by the name of Vito Tisdale Jr. Um, he'll be in the lineup this week, and he plays DB. You know what I mean? He was on that team that Kentucky had that won 10 ball games. He was a forceful piece of that defensive core. And the $1 million question for me, for all of you, is Travis Hunter a better receiver or defensive back?
Defensive back.
Defense back. He dropped a few balls yesterday, so I would say defensive back.
Yeah, I definitely because
Based on him just dropping a few balls, you would say that? I mean, I mean, there has to be a better argument, you know.
well,
Oh,
I know for me, I'm basing it off his pro prospects. So I say quarterback he had a better chance at quarterback.
Okay, okay, okay. But
so I. Oh,
I'm
sorry.
gonna say this, Chris, and then you go.
Okay.
But pound for pound, TCU had a lot of great defensive players, and only three of them graduated last year. You know what I mean? And so pound for pound, when you're playing against a team like TCU, who nobody expected them to get to the national championship, and you just annihilate them like they're on a Nerf football team. I mean, that has to say something about him, playing receiver, and that has to say something, about his hands. You know what I mean? And he's getting coached and mentored by a guy that played receiver and DB. Of course, we know him from playing defensive back, but as needed, when they needed him in clutch times, Dion did make the other defensive back. That's why I'm prime time. That's why you can't touch this. That's why you can't hold me. Because I'm that guy prime time. So, and I think that Travis Hunter probably won't be a receiver full time, but as needed, they'll throw him in there doing crucial and crunch times. That's what I believe.
And before you go, Crystal, to rebut what Jacob said about that's all you got to say about it is his instincts on the defensive side of the ball. Because when he made that interception down at the goal line, a lot of corners wouldn't have caught that. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't have noticed that, wouldn't have realized what was going on. By the time they would have realized the guy had already been in the touchdown. Because even, I forgot who it was, Joe Cladd, I think, called in the game. He said 9 times out of 10, that would have been a touchdown in most cases. So Travis Hunter has instincts. And then even when they was trying him, I think in the first half, he had like 7 targets for like 7 yards or something crazy against him, or like 7 targets. So that's Dion territory when we talk about, even if you throw at Dion and he's kind of shutting you down, limiting you to catches or your big plays. So to me, I just feel like that's another sign that he might be a little bit better in the corner.
Okay, point taken.
But go ahead, Crystal.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I think his instincts defensively are better than offensively, and I think you can find another receiver before you find another DB that can do what he does. So I think you can make up for his receiving. I think you can make up for his offense better than you can make up for his defense. So I think he's special on defense. Great on offense. I mean, he has some hands, but I think he feels special on defense, though.
Okay. Well, sticking with the college team. So sticking with the college team. And I'm gonna let you chime on this one first, Eric. What did you see, if you watched any or highlights of the game of May? Because he is considered the best prospect for NFL quarterback or overall. So what did you see out of Drake May last night?
I didn't get to see that one, but from the highlights, he looked good. He looked pretty fluent with his athleticism. He definitely was able to throw the ball around. His receivers were good for him, and I mean he played a really good game, and it's what you want to see. You want to see that out of these guys. I mean they're auditioning for the NFL, and this kid came out and he played really really well. He made, he opened up some eyes. People already had him on their radar, but then he really got him in the spotlight. So yeah, man, I saw some really good things out of him, and it's going to be a fun season to watch to follow him too. The guy that I was really looking forward to watching and I got to see was Caleb Williams. So that was, I recorded that one and I was able to sit down today and watch a little bit of that. And but with May, I was happy with what I saw out of him, and I mean, I'm excited for him.
Go ahead, Eric. Andy.
Okay, for me, I think he's gonna be a star at the next level. And the perfect example is look at the star quarterback for the Washington Commanders, Sam Howell. He had a great career in North Carolina, and now he's projected to be the starter in Washington. And Drake May is a better pro prospect than Sam Howell is, so he's doing great things now at the collegiate level. But I think he's going to be a star at the NFL level.
Okay. Well, Crystal.
I wasn't really impressed. He didn't play bad or anything, but I didn't see anything that was like super impressive to me. He threw two touchdowns, 2 interceptions, threw a bad interception. But I mean, it's game one. But I mean, it wasn't nothing that was super impressive to me. But hey.
Hey, I'm sorry, calling you Simon Cowell Jr. over here.
No, I'm just saying he wasn't bad. I'm just saying I didn't look at him and was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be great. Now Caleb Williams, even though he wasn't playing anybody, I don't know.
Hey, I don't think it's even close. To me personally, when it comes to the best quarterback in football right now in college football, I don't think it's even close. You know what I'm saying? Between Caleb Williams, it's like Caleb Williams and everybody else. Because I saw a ball in the first game last week. He locked it was a shotgun, ball fell on the ground, he scooped it up and threw it like 50 yards, like almost like with no hesitation, like 50 yards for a touchdown. And I've been saying this last year, he can make every throw and at every angle, like with ease. I mean, his arm is super strong to me from what I've seen so far. And
was impressive too. Didn't play anybody, but Michael Penix, he was pretty impressive. Did y'all watch him for Washington State? For Washington State.
Yeah.
And he threw 5 touchdowns and like 450 yards. So even though he played Boise State,
I think the thing that hurts him is he plays on the West Coast, and most people probably sleep by the time he's playing. But I agree with you, Michael Penix. I'm trying to figure out who he reminds me of. I think he'll be a great NFL quarterback too.
Mm-hmm. My man from Tennessee got a real strong arm too.
Joe Milton,
90 yards in practice one day or something, like some legendary type thing he did over practice over his training camp. So he threw the ball like 90 yards or something crazy.
Oh wow!
I was like, oh wow. So with Jacob, what you think? Drake May, Caleb Williams. What's your thoughts on them two or the whole thing?
I think Caleb Williams is probably the top quarterback in college. And I think May, I like his body frame. I like 6'4", 232. I think that he got pretty good footwork, and I think he got good mechanics. But I also think that he can have better field division. When it comes to looking at all angles of the field before you make a decision. And one of those interceptions that he's thrown is because it was poor decision making. The field vision wasn't there because one of those interceptions that he tried to get to the receiver, the tight end was right there in the flat, and that could have been like a 15-yard pickup.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and also with the quarterback from Washington, I think he's great, and like Coach Page said, he's in the West Coast, so we don't really get to see him.
Y'all watching Caleb? He on the West Coast too, but y'all want to watch him.
He played in the day. Stop it. He played in the day.
But Chris, at the same time, people still watch USC because USC has had players there that that we see in the league or that we've seen in the league. But Washington, we like okay. I mean, they got a good player, so okay. But I mean, and Randy, just to pick about what you said, I just when I see these boys in college and I hear people say, well, I think there'll be a good NFL quarterback. I don't know. That remains to be seen. I think they may have potential to be a good NFL quarterback, but that's a whole. Even when we say potential, man, that's still a whole different level, man. The levels are so different when it comes to the NFL, man, and then the mentality, the mental capacity, the emotional capacity, and the will to win. When they tell you that you trash, how are you going to get better when somebody call you trash? Because the NFL guys aren't that nice at all. They don't get paid to be nice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They some real a-holes. You know what I mean? as they say, they're real jocks. You know what I mean? And, you know, we already know how the jocks are. You know, they got they nose something at their chest poked out, and you get my bag, rookie. You know how it go. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like, cause I'm really, since I have Crystal on here, you know, I just want to bring this up. I'm I'm really uh uh I'm really in tune to see what Richardson is going to do over there at the Colts. You know, he's in the NFL. You know, I've heard them say some great things about him during training camp. We've seen some of the preseason games. So now we into the big leagues. You got the starting position, and so I just want to see, how he orchestrated it all. Because I can't tell you that I'm not surprised that he got the starting position. Okay, you know what I mean. He's a big statue and he agile. You know, he got a cannon on him, and but I seen him in college and I wasn't thoroughly impressed. He had some impressive moments, but I wasn't thoroughly impressed. So that's your boy, and so let's see what you think, Miss Lady.
Well, he gonna struggle, but Jonathan Taylor coming back really helps. He needs somebody to hand that ball off to when he gets out there. He gonna struggle. He gonna throw some balls. You're gonna be like, why did you throw that? He gonna miss some players, but he's super talented. He has a big arm. He can run. He's gonna run some people over. They're still gonna struggle because they just are. But he'll be okay though. He'll be all right.
Okay.
See, Randy and Eric, this is the problem we have sometimes on this whole show. We could be having a good conversation, talk about real players. Then somebody got to throw a wrench in, throw in some garbage. Anthony
Richardson ain't worth talking about. Huh?
Yes, okay, yes, he can run. Yes, but I've seen a pea shooter that have more accuracy than he does. Like, come on now, what we about this? Like, no, he's gonna be one of those Jamarcus Russell, Andre Ware. He gonna be one of those when it's all said and done. That's what he's gonna be.
Wow.
That's all I got.
I couldn't. You just ain't gonna give the man a chance or nothing, man.
No.
Man, you are worse than Chris Collinsworth.
No.
You're the black Chris Collinsworth.
Dude, he told me a little bit of something. The man was 6 of 17 in preseason against like third string. No. He showed me something. No. Giving him nothing. No.
What do you want to see, man? He's a rookie in the NFL. What do you want to see? So if we know anything, that we know CJ Stroud gonna run for his life.
Who?
For real.
But that's different. That's because of the line. That's because of the offensive line. That ain't because he garbage.
The Colts don't have the best offensive line, brother. They really don't.
Well, that's even worse.
That's why he need that running back. That's why he need Jonathan Taylor back there. That's why he need.
He needs Walter Payton. That's what he needs.
And speaking of Jonathan Taylor,
that's what he needs. He need both of them in the backfield at the same time with Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin on the other side, on the outside.
I'm gonna take it a step further. I think he need to have a veteran quarterback playing in front of him.
Oh, I absolutely believe that he's too raw. He needs more body of work, and to basically get thrown right into the NFL, that's a tall order to get your skills refined. It may take him a few years, not just one season, not just two. It may take him like 3 years. So I feel that they need that. I agree with you, Coach. They should have a veteran quarterback in front of him to really coach him on the sidelines. But I mean,
and if you done played 12, 13 games during the course of the year and you out of playoff contention, then you can throw him in there towards the end of the year and kind of let him get his feet wet. But throw him into the fire like that, nah,
Well,
That's a
the other
disaster waiting to happen.
like the other thing is like I was just going to say like they need to be patient with him too because I mean since Andrew Luck retired, they have not had patience with any quarterback whatsoever. Like Jim Irsay is got a very short leash on quarterbacks, and he's desperately trying to find that guy. And he took a kid that is really raw, and he has the potential. I mean, like Jacob said, he had some real nice highlights, in college. He had some real nice highlights, but let's see him start doing it on a consistent level in the pros, and it's just going to take him time. Like he's not going to be successful right away. He's got to develop, and it's going to be on the job training.
And then
So
you clowning while he trying to learn how to play, because that's all Icon gonna do is drag him while he trying to get it together.
Oh, I'm not dragging him. I'm just
No,
saying,
not
like
you.
it's
I'm
it's
talking
the
about
honest
Icon.
truth. Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
he's just not giving the poor kid a chance. I'm
Right.
sorry, he's just not.
yeah, so
He's
Well,
so
I agree with Crystal on this. How you protect him, you get a strong running game and you got a solid defense.
okay.
Okay.
yeah, but see, my thing is though with the running game, how committed is Jonathan Taylor going to be? Is he really going to be involved? Is he mentally going to be there? Because he doesn't want to be there. He wants out. And you're going to ask him to basically shoulder the load for a rookie quarterback? He ain't having that.
And
That's
I
true.
don't blame him.
I mean, you kind of auditioning for another team though, right? In a way, kind of.
He doesn't have to audition. Everybody knows what he can do. Jonathan Taylor's Jonathan Taylor. He don't need to audition anymore. I think the issue with Jonathan Taylor is I think people are really hesitant to go give a running back that second contract.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and because we know that the NFL does not value running backs one bit at all.
Not at
Which is
all.
And,
which is
you know,
ridiculous. Only 24, so that's ridiculous. 24 years,
exactly,
he's one
and
year removed from 1,800 yards and what 18 touchdowns, 20
yeah,
touchdowns. That's
yeah.
ridiculous.
So, I mean, so now in this case with Jonathan Taylor, he's arguably one of the best running backs in the game, and
Mm-hmm.
he's disgruntled. He's not, I'm not going to say checked out, but he obviously doesn't want to be there since he asked for the trade. And I'm just worried about his commitment to the team. I mean, he'll go out there like when he does go out and play, like Crystal said, he's going to be. I mean, he will audition. He's going to show them that he's playing, that he's going like I'm here. I'm doing my job. But I don't know how committed to the Colts he's going to be.
I mean,
I,
And
I, I listen, man. I just know Jonathan Taylor is really picky. Um,
Yeah.
he's picky like a chick at Bath and Body Works shopping for lotion. That's how picky he is. Um, so I know for a fact that the Dolphins and the Saints had some big money on the table. I don't want to go there, but the Colts organization don't want to offer you any type of money, bro. They really don't care about how fast your feet move and how many yards you got, man. And so no NFL running back can be picky. And I mean, if an NFL running back be picky, man, hey man, listen, bro, they're gonna be out of there because they don't really care about the NFL running back, man. They care more about a cheerleader than they care about the NFL running back. Facts.
let's look at it like this. Let's look at the history of this the last 5 years from the Colts. Does anybody have any faith, any decision the Colts make any sense? First of all, the owner says stuff. They went out and hired somebody who never coached football in life. Then they had a comparable quarterback that they got rid of after 1 year. I'm not the biggest Carson Wentz fan, but damn, you went from the decent to just terrible from that situation. So what decisions have they made in the last 3-4 years that makes any sense to anybody at any point?
I can just
So
say this about the Colts, Icon. Um, the Colts GM and the front office of the organization, man, how they think, man, it's like you can get more of an intellectual conversation out of somebody from Looney Tunes like a Elmer Fudd. They think they can't think past go. Like for real, man. Like it's ridiculous, man. Like you thought Matt Ryan was gonna save you.
Matt Ryan. That tells you what Jim Irsay is, how he's thinking. Like you say, he's got a short leash, and I agree with Icon. It was, I mean, no, I got to watch Carson Wentz firsthand, like every single game here in Philly, and I thought, okay, a new fresh start for him, should do him well, and he actually wasn't bad in Indy, and Irsay just, I don't know, he just wasn't all in on it, which made me question, why did you agree to make the trade for him? Why did you sign off on making the trade for Carson Wentz if you weren't going to give him a real shot?
Right.
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe the
I mean, you
coach
gave up a
honest.
first round pick for a guy that you essentially said, well, yeah, well, I really don't like him, so we'll just cut him after the year. You gave up a first.
That
Yeah,
is how
yeah.
bad it is. When there's no other in football that would have said, I'm gonna give up a first round pick, and after 16 games, I'm just gonna take my losses. No other. You would at least got some draft picks or something out of the deal. It's something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That just has Jim Irsay as a meddling owner. That's all it is. It just shows him as a meddling owner the whole way.
And then what makes it worse now, you're asking for a first round pick from Jonathan Taylor, which you should get, but you already devalued the man in the offseason. So you can't say that'd be like, oh, here go my wife. She don't really look that good, but if you give me $1 million for her, we good. But well, now you don't already dogged out. You don't already made it look crazy. So why would I give you $1 million for your wife? You know what I'm saying? And you already told her that she ugly, she fat, she don't cook. You know what I'm saying? So, what we
You
doing?
know what, man? You know what, man?
He didn't
I
have to
just,
add that she don't cook part. He didn't have to
uh,
add that part.
you know what? It's just the Colts, man, are just not that type of team that you're gonna expect anything out of. So we're gonna move on from that. So we're gonna discuss.
Hold on, before you go further, we got to shout out our affiliates, Village Global Network, our 9 radio stations that's affiliated with that, 147 countries, She Real Radio. And I'm not missing. Well, we got a couple other more radio stations going to be coming soon, but I just want to shout out to all those people first, before we move forward. Am I missing anybody, Jacob? I think I said everybody right.
Everybody,
Okay, yeah. So definitely go.
the NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys, the
I
Philly
knew
Eagles,
this was coming.
the
I
the
knew
the,
it.
the Philly
Why do you
Eagles.
do this to yourself?
Hey man, can I talk?
I knew
Just
it.
listen now. Just listen. The Dallas Cowboys, the Philly Eagles, the Washington Commanders, the New York Midgets, and you know, you know,
Yeah, that's what get us in trouble, stuff like that.
man. So this is what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna start with Philly, and Lord knows everybody know I'm not a Philly fan, but Philly Eagles, I just don't understand, bro. I really don't understand how they can get loaded and loaded after every year. It's like somebody's making, you know, assault rifles and saying this is for the Philly Eagles. You know what I mean? Like what? Like nobody gets that many quality, high value players for 3 years in a row. Not one, not two, but 3 years in a row, man. And so you're one of the most sensible Philly fans I know, Eric, that to say the least.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let you speak on how the GM and the front office of Philly moves and grooves when it comes to um, getting impactful picks, getting high values, in adding some of the most amazing players to their depth chart.
Look, my the co-host on the Philly podcast with me, Chris Lahiff, has said many times before, how do other GMs, when they see a 215 or a 610 area code pop up on their phone, pick that up. How do they pick up? Because you know it's Howie Roseman, and you know in some way, shape, or form he's going to talk you out of a pick or talk you out of a player for a mid-round pick, something. He has been on a roll as a general manager, which for once in this city has been like so much fun to see because we're not really used to this kind of stuff. And what he's been able to do with the roster since like winning the Super Bowl, and like he's retooled a few times and helps them get back to the Super Bowl. And Howie Roseman has to be right now probably the best GM in the league because like you said, Jacob, the talent that he has gotten onto the team via trades and in some cases signings, getting these draft picks, like how he was able to get that first round pick for Carson Wentz and then use that pick to shuffle around, like that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, and it's gratifying, as a fan that watches every week and is dialed into the Eagles, sports team in this town. Which let's face it, they run this city. They do. I feel bad for the other teams. Like the Sixers are kind of there, but they're a sinking ship again. And yeah, Howie Roseman, he's just with the draft, bringing like the Georgia Philly Bulldogs. Like, he's been sort of amazing at his job, and he's given Nick Sirianni, who's now in his second year, like probably the best team that he's ever put together, and that's
Mm,
saying a lot. Like he's
mm.
really this season, he's really put together a hell of a team, and
This season, man, the last 3 seasons. What you mean?
well,
Like,
I mean, the team that he had for last year, and just how well. Let's face it, last year I don't think anybody expected Jalen Hurts to do what he did. They were expecting an ascension in his game, but he was like bouncing off the walls. And then to go back like this season, in this off season, and in the draft add these three Georgia players, and they already having the Kobe Dean sitting from last year, who's now into the starting role, and he's basically quarterbacking the defense this year. Like he's getting all the calls. He's the one calling the plays on defense. What Howie Roseman did has just been awesome. It's just been awesome. Like it's I don't know what else to say about him.
and so here's the thing, though, Eric, man. And so this is how I know Philly got some real slick stuff with them. Now, check this out, bro. I'm on Twitter the other day, and I forgot what player on y'all defense says this. He was talking to Michael Parsons. Hey, man, if Jerry don't give you no money, we got a jersey for you,
Yeah.
and we gonna give you some money. Now, listen here, man. Here we go. The season ain't even started, and they looking because they know he up for this contract after this year. And
Oh
be like,
yeah.
listen. If Jerry don't give you that money, oh, we got a spot for you in Philly. I'm like, man, look at this crap, man. Just like Philly just recruit college, they recruit NFL. Like y'all might get somebody out of public and make them a linebacker. I mean, who knows?
You said a Publix.
That's
But
yeah.
y'all, let me ask you this question before you say that. So you said about Philadelphia 76ers, right?
Yeah.
That secondary to everybody. Josh Harris just took over on ownership of Washington. Is it going to be make of a huge difference, as far as you know, in the own how they move? How is he going to make an impact with Washington?
I mean, I think he could. Like Harris is one of those guys where he puts people in place to run his ship. He's the overall guy. He owns everything. He sits back. and he lets his upper management handle everything. So I I know he's going to want to install a new culture into that franchise, especially in the locker room, because they desperately needed it. And I think it'll take them some time, but I do think Ron Rivera, with this new ownership and this new culture that's coming in, he's the type of coach that can really get the players to buy in. If he buys into Josh Harris and his new approach, then
Ron.
players will buy into the head coach.
Riverboat Run?
You said Ron. What? Man, listen. Anytime a coach says, "I didn't know if we get eliminated with this game that we was out the playoffs." What? You're the
That
coach of an NFL team, the Washington Commanders. How did you not know if you lose this game, you was going to be eliminated, or you wasn't going to make the playoffs? Should I say? Like,
You
who
know,
does that? Who
let
who
me
does
say,
that, man?
since y'all talking about my team, let me say this. Since y'all talking about my team,
I'm talking about the coach. The team
I
ain't got nothing to do with it.
but you talking about he's the head, he's the dog, he's the head man. The problem with me is when you get old, sometimes you say stuff because you know you can say it because you're old, but sometimes you shouldn't say it. And so he's gotten to that age where he just says stuff. Just like a couple of weeks ago, he said, "I didn't realize Sam Howell was this good. If I knew he was this good, I would have been." You're the head, and you're gonna make out
So
loud.
I can hold now. You mean to tell me, out of all what he did at the University of North Carolina, he never watched the tape on this man. He never watched any clips. He never talked to any of the scouts that graded Sam Howell. This is absurd, man. As Mike Tyson would say, it's ludicrous. For
He
real, man.
he drafted. So yeah, but for you to make that statement out loud is flat out ridiculous. So to me, if they go whatever they're gonna go and not make the playoffs this year, he's gonna be gone anyway. I just think really that I'll put you like this. I really believe Josh had trying to make this decision earlier so he could come in and clean house, but it happened so late that he had no other choice but to wait it out. Because I guarantee you, Magic and him is already sitting down looking at their next coach, looking who their next candidate's going to be.
So
I'm again,
my question to
you
y'all is
Oh,
who,
go ahead.
if they do pull the plug on Ron Rivera, do you think they just go ahead and promote Eric Bieniemy to the head coach?
It just depends on how the offense runs. If the offense looks as good as it probably did, even though it's preseason, but you can see the effects already of everything. And the one thing I like to say is this: I heard like Stephen A. Smith making clowning saying they was happy they got all excited because they won a preseason game. But that just lets you know how the culture and excitement in the building has changed. When
I
you get
agree.
it wasn't about the fact they won just a preseason game. You could just tell they're excited about the new, ownership and what they've seen so far.
And
That's
they're
what it's about.
they're very excited because they had at the Burgundy and Gold game, they had 70,000 people on hand. They're very excited.
Exactly. That's what it's really about. You know what I'm saying? So what about so what's your team? What's your team, Andy? Who's your team?
Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, well I know. Well, go ahead and ask him the question, then Jacob about this Ravens. What know you probably had a question for him about that.
So I want to talk about this rookie in what's his name? Zachariah. What's his name?
No, Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. Okay, my bad. Zay Flowers. So I want to see how him, Lamar, and OBJ can coexist together. And I do think that Lamar don't need to throw the ball 40 times a game. I think that the Ravens are good when they have the at least 2-3 rotation running back, and it opens up the passing game. And now he got some wide out weapons, and the Ravens always kept like a 3-4 man tight end that was almost great. So I'm really looking to see, man, how it's all gonna come together. And you know, the question is, will you guys ever have that defense that y'all are known for again? Like for real, bro. People used to be scared to play y'all. I'm talking about that type of defense.
Well, I mean, for starters on the defensive side of the ball, I really don't think we're too far off now. Marlon got hurt in the secondary, starting corner, so he's gonna be out for a few weeks. We're gonna probably struggle in the secondary a little, but by week 6 and week 7, I think we're gonna start to turn the corner offensively. Yeah, we used to be able to score with the best of them. We are stacked at tight end, wide receiver, and running back. And also, by the way, we got a former MVP playing quarterback. So, man, I mean, the sky's the limit, man. We just got to stay focused. And Coach Harbaugh, as long as he stay out of the way, I think we'll be fine.
Okay. So, Crystal, Patriots. So Jacob, what's your Patriots?
We don't need to talk about them.
Yes, we are. So,
there's nothing to talk about.
Uncle Bill, Uncle Bill, they call him Big Billy with the Billy, so.
I don't really know what he's doing, to be honest with you. I really don't.
Bill said that he have his starting offense, and people are going to be surprised.
Okay.
And
I'll be one of those people.
And he also says that he's going to be able to put up or shut up. So, I mean, you added Zeke.
Uncle Bill ain't said that. Uncle Bill ain't said that.
Yeah.
Or he said that.
Uncle Bill said yeah, he gonna put up a shut up. So he's pretty excited about the starting offense that he has. It appears to be that way.
It must be something new in training camp or something that they have this new. I know they got an offensive coordinator because they got Bill O'Brien, if I'm not mistaken. But and I know he put up the highest offense for the Patriots back, but Tom Brady was there, so that's a little different. But he sent Zappy and Cunningham back to the practice squad, and Matt must have made some huge leaps in training camp or something in the preseason for him to do that. Now he signed him back. He signed Zappy back, but Matt Jones wasn't that far ahead of Zappy, to be honest with you. He was ahead of him, but he wasn't that far where you would cut him and then sign him back. But they said he did it to make a point. That's like, Mac is the guy or whatever. So he must have made some great leaps because I don't see it. But
well, my thing to ask you, Chris, do you think that Bill been down there in Dallas with Jerry in the script club tossing it up?
And they had Urban Meyer there too. So
yeah, man, because Jerry party, man. I tell people that Jerry toss up, he gonna party, man. You know what I mean? It's like they asked Jerry. So why didn't you consult with McCarthy or Dak when you signed Trey Lance? Jerry's like, what? Who? Me? Consult with them? Like, this my team. My family own oil. We got more money than Moses, Simon, Peter, and Apostle Paul. Why should I consult with anybody? Like, Jerry just looked at the media like, when they asked him, like, what? Me? Consult with Dak? And I gave him some money and ain't nothing happened?
Consulting and informing him are two different things, though. So, respectfully, he could have informed him.
Not
that,
Jerry.
Hey, I understand that, but I'm saying the argument is that respectfully he could have done that. That's your starting quarterback. So respectfully, you could have informed him, hey, we're getting Trey Lance. Not ask him, can we? Because you do what you want to do. But you could have informed him, though. This game over too. Y'all watching Florida State and LSU?
Hey, Crystal, respectfully, that could have got us out Division One of the playoffs, respectfully.
I mean, okay.
That's what I respectfully. I don't have to pay you. That's respectfully. I paid you. Shut up and do your job. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying. Quit throwing 15 interceptions. That's what respectfully you can do for me. That what we can do.
Man.
You know, but anyway, before we
man.
get out of here, we done kept everybody long enough. So
Y'all watching
everybody,
Florida State and what you call it? LSU?
everybody, we gonna pick, huh?
Y'all watching Florida State LSU?
Yeah, I'm checking it out. We gonna make our division picks. Everybody pick a division winner. Who you think is gonna go? Championship games and win Super Bowl. This is just all for fun. So if you want to change your pick later on, that's fine. So I know Crystal, she don't like making predictions, but this all for fun. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start with Eric. Go around the room. I'm gonna go last. We're gonna go around the room and I'll go last. So Eric, give me your each division winner. How you see it, the 7-player teams on each side making the playoffs and championship game, Super Bowl winners.
We're doing division, just our division, right?
Huh?
Just my division. Is that what I'm doing?
Well, each division, who you see coming out of each division, and make your wild card team, and then
That's
who you
too
think.
much.
Oh,
That's too
huh?
much, Icon. That's
Well,
too much.
Just
I'm not
give
repping
me
nobody.
give me
I'm not
four.
repping but one division. That's the NFC East. That's it.
Okay, well, we have the same division. Well, at least give me the final four. At least give me final four. Then. Good Lord.
All right. Okay.
Final four. Golly. Go ahead, Eric.
All right, hold on. This is a lot of info. I gotta get into my I gotta get into my teams here. Sorry about that. Yeah, because I was gonna say I was just gonna do the East.
Well, you give me the NFC East. Then you give me the NFC East. Who you think gonna come out of that? Since I threw this on y'all at the last minute.
Well, I really feel that it's going to be the first time in I forget how many years it is now that we'll probably have a repeat winner of the NFC East. I think the Eagles are going to they'll win a division. It'll be Eagles, Dallas, Giants, and Washington. I think that the team that's really going to be the one to watch in the NFC East. I think the Giants could actually surprise some people this year. I think Brian Dable has done a really good job with that team. I'm still not sold on Daniel Jones, but he's got him playing pretty well. But that's my pick for the divisions for the division. I actually see a repeat of the Super Bowl. I see the Chiefs and the Eagles back in the Super Bowl. I won't say who's going to win because it's way too. I won't do that. Last time I said the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl, they lost just last year. So, yeah, I see the Eagles representing the NFC conference in the Super Bowl. And I think they're going to go up against KC again. It's going to be another rematch again. So, but that's my prediction for the division.
Okay, all right. So Randy followed the same thing. Your division and who you think gonna be in the Super Bowl. You can give a prediction.
Okay, coming out the AFC North. I think there's too many distractions and things going on in Cincinnati. I like Baltimore to win that division, but I will say the sleeper of the division is the Pittsburgh Steelers. That I don't think they get the credit that they deserve. So I think we'll win our division, and I think in the AFC Championship game, I like Baltimore, and I don't know. I think Baltimore. And I think the Bills. I think the Bills will be playing Baltimore in the AFC Championship game. Now, my sleeper in the AFC altogether is the San Diego Chargers. Not San Diego, but the LA Chargers. Those are my picks.
Okay. Gotcha. Go ahead. What's going on, Chris? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey.
Since you jumped on real quick, man. Well, we let you go last, so you see what we're doing. So basically, what we're doing is giving division winners. Where the division out your division, unless you want to give a different division. Eric gave the NFC East, who he thinks gonna win, and the East and how it's gonna roll, and then he gave a Super Bowl as far as who's gonna be in the Super Bowl. Randy gave the AFC North and how he think that's gonna roll and his Super Bowl contenders or prediction. And Crystal about to go next. So Crystal go next, Jacob, then I'll let you go, then I'll go last.
Okay. I did my homework. See, look, I did my homework. So I have AFC North. I have the Bengals. I had the Ravens, but I crossed them out. The South, I got the Jaguars. AFC West, I got Kansas City. NFC East, I got Philly. NFC North, I got the Vikings. NFC South, I want to say the Saints, but I'm going to go Panthers. A little surprise. The Panthers were a little surprise. In the NFC West, I got 49ers. But I do have a repeat, like Eric said. I had a Super Bowl being the Eagles and the Chiefs. That's what I got right now.
Okay. Go ahead, Jacob.
I don't got the Cowboys winning the division. I got them winning a wild card and getting into the playoffs. And upon them, no, I'm just,
you okay?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't got no winning the division, man, because it ain't culture in Dallas right now. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. You know, it's a lot of people feeling some sort of way. You know what I mean? And so I got them getting out of the first round this year, though, and that really depends on if Dak don't have to throw the ball 44 times a game. Like, that's too much. He can't possibly throw the ball 44 times a game, and the Cowboys go far in the playoffs, bro. Like, get out of here, man. Like, ain't nobody, he shouldn't throw the ball no 44 to 47 times a game. That's crazy. He's not that type of quarterback. His arm is not built for that. And the sooner that Jerry Jones stop getting high so he can see, we'll be better off. You know what I mean? But as far as going back to the Super Bowl, like I've been telling people, man, people have seen to if Joe Blow, the lover man, Joe Burrow get healthy, if Joe Blow get healthy, man, they coming. They coming, bro. And
They say so.
I think they can easily surprise people of getting back to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And then you have, them Philly Eagles, which, they got way more than what you call a super team, man. That's a super team. That's a giant team. That man, get out of here, man. Like to beat them, you're definitely gonna need your fairy godmother. That makes no sense. That really makes no sense how much they stack. And I'm just gonna keep it real, man. They hella stack. And so if, like you said, if it be Philly and Kansas City again, that's not far fetched. I won't even be surprised. I'll just be ready for a great, interesting Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And so that's all I have, man.
All right, go ahead, Chris.
So, I'm going to piggyback off Jacob's. We hear, all the chatter in the NFL is the Eagles had a cupcake schedule and that they're not going to win the division. They're going to barely make the wild card. And, you do your homework and you look at the schedules, and it's literally two teams that separate from what I think people forget. Like, I know they get emotional. I think people forget that how good the East was last year. So as tough as the Eagles schedule is, Dallas has the same schedule with the exception of two games. They play the Chargers. We play the Vikings. You guys don't play the Vikings. You guys play Justin Herbert. I'll take Kirk Cousins over Justin Herbert. I'll take Kirk Cousins primetime over Justin Herbert anytime. So, the division's going to be a gauntlet. I have the Eagles coming out on top. It's their division to lose. It's, like Jacob said, people can sit there and say it's a super team. How we did great with the draft, how we did good with, free agents and re-signing. I know we lost 2 coordinators, but we're not the only team to lose 2 coordinators. The Chiefs lost Eric Bieniemy. Are the Washington Commanders going to all of a sudden turn into the Kansas City Chiefs? I don't think so. Sam Howell isn't Patrick Mahomes. I think the NFC East goes to the Eagles, and I think they win it by 1 or 2 games. I'm with Eric. Giants are going to surprise a lot of people. Like, they're steady. They have a good defense, but at the end of the day, it comes down to Daniel Jones, and they don't have a guy who can stretch the field. Darren Waller is a great tight end, but he's injury prone, as is Saquon Barkley, as is Darius Slayton. Now you're talking about 3 guys who have missed multiple games the past 3 seasons. 2 of them get hurt, and Daniel Jones is running for his life. So I think the Eagles win the division. I think they win it easily by 2 games, and that's what I mean. They have it clinched by like week 16 or 17. It's not going to be like it was. I'll be shocked if the Eagles are 14-3. If I think I had them at 13-4. Me and Eric did a show. I had them at 13-4. Eric had them at 12-5. I think it's Eagles division to lose. But like Jacob said, Dak can't throw the ball 44 times a game. He's not that quarterback. He's good. He's just not good enough. And everyone talks about Dallas. And they have the best roster. There's a lot of talk. Where are they better at than the Eagles? Micah Parsons, defensive player of the year. They had both cornerbacks. I think are both average. They're both a little bit good. Edge goes to Dallas. I'll give it because Stephon Gilmore won Defensive Player of the Year. But I'll take my front 5 offensive line because Zach Martin's missing 2 or 3 games. It's what he does.
Yeah.
They signed Terrence Steele, who was a great pickup. Everyone thought didn't know what he was going to be, but he's great. But I'll take the Eagles front 5 against Dallas's front 5. I'll take the Eagles defensive line over the Cowboys defensive line. I just think the Cowboys only have the edge in the corners, and not by a lot, and Micah Parsons. My prediction: Micah Parsons wins Defensive Player of the Year. He probably has 22 sacks. The guy's a beast. Like you can't. You just he's an animal. But and then Crystal's got the Panthers winning the South. That's Whew.
Just to throw a little something out there,
that's
little fire out there, little hot take.
Yeah, no, listen, it's that means CJ Stroud wins Rookie of the Year. in my opinion, I agree with the Jaguars winning it. Yeah, that Jaguars winning their division because I think Doug Peterson's going to take Trevor Lawrence to that next level. The East. I think it's Buffalo. I don't know if I'm anybody in the East. I'm not scared of Mac Jones. I know Bill Belichick's a great coach. Mac Jones doesn't do it for me. Like he doesn't scare me. I don't know about anybody else. The North could be Burrow, like Jacob said. Steelers are a dark horse. Like Mike Tomlin gets that team to 500 or better. I don't know how he does it. So, you have that the West, it's going to be Kansas City unless, God forbid, he gets hurt, Patrick Mahomes. The NFC West, I can't pick San Fran. I don't think Brock Purdy is as great. He's good. I just don't think, I think maybe Geno Smith takes him here. Brock Purdy's here and Geno Smith's here. I don't know. I'll give the 49ers the West because of their defense, not because of Brock Purdy. Mm-hmm. It's just not. And even the Rams are still there. Although if the Rams are not doing if they're by the trade deadline, if they're 1-6 or 1-7, don't be surprised Stafford, Donald, or Cooper Kupp are on the trade deadline trade block because they have no assets, none, at all. So, you could see 1 or 2 of them go for draft picks. Like it's crazy. It's like, listen, I'm all what the Rams did. Good for them. That's what I would have did. You know, the Eagles. You know, we got a backup quarterback who won the Super Bowl, and then then our starting quarterback forgot how to play football. So, you know, we traded we made a deal with the devil. You know, now we got, you know, our savior in Jalen Hurts, who that's my pick for MVP this year. I think he wins MVP, and and I'm going to go and say Micah Parsons wins Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
So,
That's
so I'm gonna end it off, and my NFC. I got the Eagles winning the NFC East. I got the Cowboys in second. I got Washington in third. I'm gonna drink half a cup of Kool-Aid on Sam Howell. If he's decent because of our defense. If our defense plays anywhere near like they did last year, now our offense is a little bit better with Eric Bieniemy. I think that we can at least get that third spot because with the Giants, I think it's just too many. I think it's too many holes on the Giants. They can't keep relying just on Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. I don't think he's bad as people think, but I don't think he can carry them like he did last year with all these one-score games. So I don't really expect them to take a drop down and us at least get that third slot. When it comes to the NFC South, right now I have the Saints because all the other quarterbacks are either young, inexperienced. So I'm going to have enough respect in Derek Carr to say that he can at least win that division. And that defense is pretty decent every year. So I'm going to give it to the Saints. The NFC West, I'm going to go Seattle because I'm kind of with Chris. I'm not sure what Brock Purdy is. And San Francisco they kind of make some kind of suspect decisions when it comes to certain things, even though the defense is great. I just think that I believe in Geno, and Pete Carroll's a hell of a coach. So I'm gonna pick Seattle. Pete Carroll reminds me of Tomlin, the way they coach their teams up and get the best out of their players. So I'm gonna go Seattle. As far as on the NFC or the AFC side of the ball, no, I forgot NFC North. I'm sorry, NFC North. I'm gonna pick Detroit barely over Minnesota. I don't think Jordan Love is. They try to hype him up and try to put him up there, but I think it's gonna be too much for him too soon. I think Justin Fields, they may do a little bit better, but I don't see them winning the division. So I'm gonna give it to Detroit. I think that momentum is gonna carry them over. When it comes to AFC North, I'm actually give it to Baltimore. I think with Lamar Jackson getting his money, and I think John Harbaugh is a hell of a coach. I think Baltimore is going to get it back this year, get back in it. When it comes to the AFC East, I'm gonna surprise everybody, and I'm gonna say the Miami Dolphins. I just think if Tua can stay upright, they loaded with weapons. So I'm just gonna say the Miami Dolphins. I don't believe in Josh Allen. I think he's last year I put my eggs in the basket. Chris will tell you that. I was hyping him up, and Jacob them was telling me how he wasn't as good as people think, and he proved that to me. He actually to me kind of tailed off last year. He wasn't as good as he was the year before that. So I don't believe in Josh Allen like that. When it comes to the AFC West, my dog all day long, I'm going with my homeboy. Until y'all knock him off, he like LeBron to me. Until you completely knock him out the box, he that guy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in AFC South. I didn't truly believe in Trevor Lawrence all the way. Even when he first came out of college, I did. But I think that first year he got thrown off because he had bad coaching, and he proved that he could be a legit quarterback in this league. And they've done great in the draft over the last couple of years. So I'm gonna give it to the Jaguars. And to end it all, I'm gonna give it to I'm gonna put Kansas City and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Until you prove me differently, until I'm proven differently, as far as the Chiefs go, they're my Super Bowl candidate every year on the AFC side, and on the NFC side, I'm like with Jacob. I don't know how the Eagles do it every year. How they keep getting player after player in the way they do. They remind me of the Clippers lineup. If the Clippers could stay healthy, they could win a championship because they loaded every year with all these players on the bench. You know, how in the world are they getting all these players? And so I'm gonna put the Eagles and the Chiefs, and until they get beat, right now I'm gonna jump out there. I'm gonna tell you that I'm gonna say Chiefs win another Super Bowl until I see something different. I may change at the mid-season, but that's what I see for right now. But other than that, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming on and being a part of this episode. I wanted to do the NFL preview show before we jumped everything off. So I thank everybody for their time on this holiday weekend, and wish everybody the best. And like I said, man, you know, we continue to grow and build together, things together, and you know, so if anybody else got nothing to say, we gonna take it out here. If the church ready to say, man, hearts and minds are clear, we get up out of
Peace.
See y'all.
All right, guys. It's good being on with you, buddy.
here. Yes, sir.
Take it easy.
You
Yeah,
too.
but we'll definitely talk about you know, getting on with some of your stuff.
Okay, no
We'll
doubt.
definitely
No doubt.
talk. All right, buddy.
All right, brother.
All right, man. You take it easy.
You too.
Night.